course, we can open up for questions and answers. Let me just try and scroll through this about the accounting solution. Let me not get into. So I have already spoken to you about reimagining accounting in cloud. I had some examples. I can send these slides to you. I had some example about banks. And these are some interesting Indian examples, actually, where smallest part of the banks are going through fintech companies. So again, since we've already covered it, I don't want to take you through, but there are companies like Impact Guru. Have a look at them on the Google. There are companies like payment cards, of course. This is interesting. If you want to understand open API banking, this is an open project. It is available on Google. Please try and read it. It will give you a little bit understanding about open APIs and what API banking is all about. I am again sticking to this example because we've got emotions attached with bank audits and concurrent audits. So I want to make sure that you have a full visibility of what we're doing. So it's a bank as a platform. So I said banks would actually become a platform, and they're likely to become a platform. And this is an open source cash management system. They're completely different companies. Robotic investment advisory, they're coming up different companies. Invest Class is one of the interesting companies that you have. And lending is likely to change. You have 10 days to salary. Personal finance is likely to change, and so on and so forth. Now, digital checks and so on and so forth. Just to try and end this up, I've got one or two interesting clips to show you. The level at which artificial intelligence is here today. I spoke to you about solutions. I spoke to you about, very quickly, about accounting solutions change. Somebody may be wondering here, boss, it's still maybe 20, 30 years to go. Why are we bothered about it? So let me try and show you one or two clips on what artificial intelligence
MD and CEO of Canara Bank.
So can you just stop that? So, last example, I happened to be in one of the conferences in London, and I just gave an example like this somewhere else as well. And I was walking up, and there was a Robo. There was a very interesting Robo which walks up behind me and says, "Hey buddy, can I have a selfie with you?" And I was thrilled. I said, wow. I turned around, and the Robo was walking in with a beautiful looking girl. That's what they do at conferences, try to attract people to their stalls. And I went in, and the Robo clicked a selfie with me. And I wanted to test the Robos. We are Indians. We like to test a lot of things. I said, hey, is this cute looking girl here troubling you? No, she's quite a cute girl. I have no problem. Instant reaction. I couldn't capture that moment, right? In one of the next conferences that I went to, I had a very, very interesting Robo now walking in front of me this time. And I'm walking behind the Robo. It's the second one, the next one after that. So the next one, please. I walk up to the Robo and I ask the Robo, I ask him, maybe not him or...
I want to thank everyone at the Academy.
Hey buddy, can I have a selfie with you? So I walk up from behind, and this time I am saying, hey buddy, can I have a selfie with you? That's how it starts. But please follow this up a little more closely, because what it is saying and doing is not interesting. What technology is really, really interesting.
I want to thank everyone at the Academy.
Hey buddy, can I have a selfie with you?
Hi, namaste.
Namaste, how are you?
सब ठीक है?
एकदम सब ठीक है. Can I have a selfie with you?
आपका नाम है?
Can I have?
मेरा नाम?
मेरा नाम अनिल है.
Wow.
आपका नाम क्या है?
मेरा नाम रोबोट वी.
रॉबर्ट वी है. आपके साथ एक सेल्फी खींच सकता हूँ?
Yes.
That's nice.
I want to thank everyone at the Academy.
I don't know if what you saw out of this, but I walked in from behind and I said, hey buddy, can I have a selfie with you? The first thing that hits up is the language algorithm or the contextual algorithm. Not even the language actually, maybe the contextual algorithm. I said, hey buddy. Buddy is not in a dictionary.
Okay, last guy.
Hold on.
Very good, Kevin.
Hold on. So I walk up to this Robo. The Robo turns around and I said, hey buddy, it hits the algorithms of the Robo. The Robo understands buddy doesn't mean a Ravana, it means a friend to start with. And then Robo turns around and it also understands what a selfie means. A selfie was invented as a word just maybe 4 or 5 years back, right? And it understands all of that. And the instant reaction is, you know what? Namaste. And if you would have watched that video again, it is not even a full second. It is a nanosecond, half a second. It turns around and says namaste. What would have it done he or she would have done in that nanosecond? It would have scanned my badge. It understands I've come from India. It's gone and said namaste. Maybe somewhere in my registration, I would have put India or Indian or whatever. So it understood my language. My language is not an English language. It's an Indianized language. It understood all of that, digested it, turned around, said namaste in half a second. This Robo speaks 50 languages, Japanese, Chinese, all of that, works 24/7, doesn't go to sleep, costs only $300,000. This Robo is costing $300,000, right? I mean, where is auditing and accounting, man? Right? Nowhere. So for them to do repetitive tasks is very, very simple. Very, very simple. So you could have a Japanese turning around, you could have a Chinese going and talking to them, and they're able to talk to you, they're able to have a conversation with you. And when I was doing the selfie, it said, hey, you are not doing a selfie, you're clicking a video, because I clicked a video. Now, I went back to my stall and I spoke to one of my guys in Toronto. I said, yaar, ye kya Robo hai, yaar, you should go and catch up with him. Well, nahi, tu to Indian hi lagta hai, yaar. So this guy goes up there, his name is Zohair, he's a Muslim, he works for us, and he goes and stands in front of the Robo. Robo says, आप मुझे उर्दू सिखाएंगे क्या? He says, सीख लो. He says, सलाम मालिकम. Robo says, मालिकम सलाम. हबीबी, you're a good friend. तो हमने बोला यार ये रोबो तो बहुत अच्छा है, इसको छोड़ेंगे नहीं हम लोग. The Robo says, please put a finger behind your back. So I put number 2 behind my back. The Robo scans through our body and says, you're holding a number 2 behind your back, right? My friend holds 4 number behind the back. The Robo says, you're holding number 4 behind the back. Again, we are Indians, hum chhodenge nahi. So this is the last clip I want to show. He says, last try, let me try something. Again, very interesting. The number is not interesting, the magic is not interesting. Look at the technology again here. Yeah, please.
Very good, Kevin.
Okay, last try.
That's crazy. That's great. What is that? What? You wanted the numbers behind the back? You're doing the numbers?
Yeah, I'm
You
doing
gotta tell
the
the robot because it has infrared that it can scan through you. It can actually.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Taking an X-ray.
Well, right now you look like you're gonna punch me.
So, I don't know, the Robo is a smart Robo, he could have easily said you're holding a fist behind your back. He could make out number 2, number 4. So he could have easily said, my friend, you're holding a fist, why are you trying to fool me? It didn't say that. It hit on a humorous algorithm to come back and say, hey, you know what, it looks like you're about to punch me. How human is that? How human is that? Right? Very, very human. So they are putting in more and more intelligence in that machine to be able to converse the way that you converse with people, right? You would have probably come back and said something like this. They're trying to put all of those into this box. So the last one, and again a very important one, we believe all this technology will take time and this and that. Hold on, please. I'll tell you to do that. US people are describing and discussing about, will you start having feelings for these machines? It's at a completely different level. Will you, human beings, start have feeling for machines, right? I can't imagine this. I just can't imagine this. And there is a conversation as a last clip that you have. Please do that.
They were made, I think, in 2007, and I'm not sure if they even still make them. But what I really love
This is a small
about
Robo,
it is
by the
that
way. It's a
mimics
baby
life
dinosaur.
really, really well. And the design is just brilliant. Like, instead of trying to be like a cat or a dog or something that you would immediately kind of compare it to and be like, oh, that's not quite right, it's a baby Camarasaurus. Which, I don't know, Hugh, have you interacted with a baby Camarasaurus before?
Not to my recollection.
Yeah, so it's like really easy to suspend your disbelief and treat it like a living thing.
Wow, and it's making these little like cooing sounds, and yeah, that is very interesting. And so let me ask about that. I mean, as we get.
So just stop that. That's okay. So if you have seen this Robo, actually it goes to sleep after during the conversation. It just takes a nap. And the lady says, she's a double master's in something. The lady says, why don't you pick up this machine by the tail? And he picks it up by the tail. And says, hold it so that it's upside down, like how you hold a cat or something. And he does that. So he says, you'll very soon have feelings for this Robo. He said, what nonsense is that? The Robo wakes up, right? And it says, He keeps holding it. The Robo says, he keeps holding it. And then it shouts a little more loudly and he drops it. Literally. It's something that you're trying to be cruel to maybe an animal. That was the context. And that was nothing but a machine. So a very simple example of you could probably be looking at human beings having feelings for robots and machines. So I just want to end this by saying this is a very, very interesting next 10 years or 20 years likely to be. It is again a very, very interesting subject for chartered accountants. We run away from technology. We don't want you to code. I mean, of course you can code. The expectation is not coding. The expectation is, are you even understanding what it's likely to do? Forget about what it does, what it is likely to do. And if you understand what it is likely to do, I'm sure you'll be on top of it. And if you understand this even better, there is all the reasons for us to go and keep our shoulders a little higher and tell the government, hey, you know what? Thank you so much, guys and girls. Why don't you ask somebody else to do an audit, my friends? Right? Very, very simple for us to do that. If we start doing it, that is the time that somebody comes back and says, because you hold a lot of credibility, to come back and says, you know what, we respect your profession, we would want you to do it. Is that easy to do an audit, by the way? Is it easy to do an audit? I don't find it easy. It's not easy for government to find auditors, by the way. So I'm not saying that, you know, we be crude or our talking language is not appropriate, but it is important for us as chartered accountants to understand our own value. And I'm saying, unfortunately, in the scheme of things that we do, we sometimes leave out the value that we have, which is underlining values, and the opportunities that we have. And we all start running for the small piece of thing that all of us want to do. So I would only, you know, lastly impress upon you is that these opportunities are worth billions, billions. They're not like a 10,000, 15,000 bucks audit. These are like literally in billions. And I was saying this in students' conference just to complete this conversation. There are only 1.5 million chartered accountants in this world. How many? 1.5 million chartered accountants in this world, all CPAs and chartered accountants put together, and there are 7 billion people in this world, right? There are only 1.5 million chartered accountants, right? So I think let's just take out of this mind, success is a given, and I'm sure we'll all be able to walk through this opportunity door very, very easily and quickly. Thank you so much. I'm here if there are any questions, happy to respond to your questions, because Prakash has given me strict instructions that I have to be standing here till 1700 hours, so I'm happy to be here and respond to any questions, whether they are technology questions, whether they are accounting questions, or there are any deeper questions on artificial intelligence and machine learning. Let's not get into that, Prakashi, today, but just to, I mean, what he's trying to say is that I do something different. I like to innovate. Today, what I'm working in is Robo Auditor. I want to